This time tomorrow, Australian journalist Peter Greste will go on trial in Cairo, accused of spreading false news following interviews he did with members of the banned Muslim Brotherhood. He's been in custody since December the 29th, along with 2 Egyptian colleagues. Their arrest has drawn condemnation from around the world. If found guilty, Peter Greste could face up to 7 years in jail. A short time ago, I spoke to his parents, Lois and Yuris Greste, at their home in Brisbane. Yuris and Lois Greste, thank you very much for joining 7:30.
Not at all.
Now, your son Andrew was able to visit Peter in prison in the past few days. What did he tell you about his condition?
Well, he said basically that Peter was holding up reasonably well under the circumstances.
That must have been a huge relief to hear at least some direct news from him.
Absolutely. I mean, I guess that having Andrew over there and the 2 of them being able to connect up with each other was wonderful.
Yuris, were you able to learn what his expectations are for the trial ahead?
Well, I dare say our collective expectations, first of all, our expectations are very mixed. Our distress levels have shot up very considerably this afternoon because we learnt that instead of the trial being held at a public venue, it is going to be inside the Tora prison compound. And really what happens beyond that, we don't know.
Do you know whether he's going to have proper legal representation?
Well, we believe that he will have legal representation, but we really don't know who it is going to be.
And what do you know at this stage about the possible outcomes?
Well, very little, Sarah. We actually don't know anything about the possible outcome. We know that tomorrow will be basically a procedural sort of thing, but above and beyond that, we have no idea.
And at this stage, has the Australian government, do you think, done everything they can to help Peter so far?
Absolutely, Sarah. We are very happy and we are very impressed. At least, even though the hearing is unlikely to be public, we know that there will be 4 people from the embassy as well as Andrew at the first day's hearing. So that at least is a great relief for us.
And Lois, do you expect to have the chance to speak directly to Peter tomorrow or later on in the course of the trial?
I would love to think so, but so far he's not been able to speak from the prison, and unless somehow some permission is given, we may not hear anything from him.
So you'll be waiting for an update from Andrew tomorrow night?
Yes, particularly from Andrew, but hopefully, crossing fingers, the consul might be given permission for Peter to make a call to us. And
was Andrew able to give you any update on the conditions that Peter is living in inside that prison? Andrew
really has been so very busy that he's managed to give us a quick call and a short letter. But his time is absolutely, stretched to the limit because he has a lot of people he needs to see as well as get to see Peter. And the first time he went, he was in a queue, in the visitors' queue that took several hours. I think he finally got back after starting at 8 a.m. in the morning. He got back to the hotel at 3:30 and then he had other appointments. So
Andrew's really so busy that even the message that we have is in very brief dot point form, so that we only have a minimum amount of information.
Let me just ask you this. I know we don't want to dwell on this on the eve of the beginning of the trial, but the charges he faces carry a possible 7-year jail sentence. Is that something that the family have considered at this stage?
No, we will not go there.
We dare not think in those sorts of terms, Sarah.
I hope very much that both of you will keep us very closely informed as to what's happening, and please send to Peter the very best wishes of everyone at the ABC, his colleagues.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
We certainly will.